Hey mom, yes you. Are you still exhausted even after you slept? You woke up exhausted because you're a mama and that's what we do. So are you wondering if you're ever going to have enough time with your kids, or if you're ever going to have enough money to have breathing room to where you feel human again, where you're living and not just surviving? You're not failing. You're trapped in a system that doesn't work for us anymore as moms. So imagine this. It's bedtime, okay? And instead of stressing about bills, you're actually reading a story to your child. You're reading a story to them and actually enjoying that. You're not having that thought in your mind of how are we going to get to the next paycheck. Instead, you're actually present with your kid. You're actually able to read that story to them at bedtime and not have something else going on in your mind about money stress. And if you're feeling like this is your everyday reality, which most of us it is, you're not alone. It happens to a lot of us, right? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about why so many moms feel that way. Most moms over 40 that I work with feel like no matter how hard they try, there's never enough money, there's never enough hours in the day. You feel trapped. You're working to survive, right? But you're missing the moments with your family. It's exhausting. That mom that would sit in the grocery store and calculate everything in the buggy, worrying, just wondering if that total is going to be more than what my credit card could handle, because I didn't want the humiliation, right, of checking out and not being able to pay that bill. I mean, have you ever been there? Because it's embarrassing. Who here has felt that grocery store panic? Comment me if that's you. So who here would love to have income coming in while they're playing with their kids? Who would love to have income coming in while you are cooking dinner? Literally while you're cooking dinner. Like get a notification, hey, you just made $900 while you were cooking dinner. Anybody? No? Comment me if you feel that way. Would you like that? I know it might sound too good to be true, too simple, maybe even impossible. But I've seen moms just like you starting to do this with just 2 hours a day. And then they begin to feel free again. They begin to feel like the present mom that they always wanted to be. You're not destined to feel trapped forever. You can be present with your kids, stop stressing over the groceries, and create meaningful income. It can be done. Can you imagine feeling this kind of relief? Like, tap yes if this is your dream. Anybody? So, which part of this 2-hour workflow would excite you the most? The fact that you would have time freedom? Or the fact that you would be getting a notification that you made money while you're cooking dinner? Or the fact that you're able to actually read a bedtime story at night to your kid, to be present and not have going on in the back of your mind what bills that you're worried that you're not going to get to pay this month? If you're ready to stop trading life for a paycheck, type I'm in the comments and take your first step to freedom. In 12 different directions, you're responsible for taking care of yourself, which you're just holding on by a thread there, right? You're in charge of cooking, you're in charge of cleaning, you're still responsible for finances. Even if your husband takes care of that, you're still responsible, right? Because you're his partner. You're responsible for everything. As moms, that's just what we do. That's who we are. But the system today it's got us trapped, right? Because we never have enough time with our kids. We never have enough money, right? But here's the thing. There is a way to regain control. And that's the hope that I want to give you. One small structured system can give you that freedom without having to work the long hours and miss life's moments. How much time could you realistically carve out each day to start something for yourself? Could you give 30 minutes in the morning? Could you give 30 minutes at lunchtime? Or could you give an hour after the kids go to bed? Because all you need is 2 hours a day. And it doesn't have to be a 2-hour stretched window. it can be bits and pieces. And that's all you need to be able to start your own system where you have automated income coming in, where you can be that mom that's cooking dinner and gets a notification that she just made money, where you can be on vacation sitting at the beach and enjoying that pina colada and get a notification that, hey, you just made money. And it feels unreal because you're literally enjoying yourself, and you feel guilty because you're not having to work crazy hours and be missing the moments of your kids and your family because you have to make a paycheck. What if you didn't have to ask permission to take time off to be with your kids? Take vacation. What if you made 100% profit? And what if you had your own automated income earning system where all you had to do was put in 2 hours a day? That's it, you guys. So, you mamas out there who woke up tired, there is hope for you. You don't have to be trapped in this system that we call life and worrying how you're going to make it from paycheck to paycheck. You don't have to be that way anymore. There is a way out. And I finally found it. And listen, you guys, I tried so many different ways to make money online. I promise you, if it's out there, I probably tried it. And I wish you could see my friends and family right now in the background, and they would be nodding their heads with their eyes real big like, yes, she did. Are you that mama? Are you one of those that have tried so many different ways to make extra income and none of them have worked out? Type yes in the comments. I'm telling you, I've tried many, many, many different ways to make money online, and it either never worked out at all or it wasn't even enough to be wasting my time. So when I came across this system that teaches you step by step how to have your own business online where it works for you, so you're not having to work so hard, you literally, I'm telling you guys, it's crazy. The wins that I see in our community, to me, it just makes me smile every time. And I get so excited because I know what this can do for moms. I know what their life could look like instead of what it has been, because I've been that mom. I've been the mom who wakes up exhausted. You wake up exhausted and you're starting a brand new day just like yesterday, where you've got to go 90 to nothing, still not enough hours in the day, there's still not enough money to go around for what you need. Then you get this text, right, that says, oh, your kid needs this uniform for this activity and it's due by next Friday. And then you're sitting there like, great, I know my kid needs this uniform. How am I going to come up with this money, right? Or let's say you've gone out to dinner and you're supposed to be enjoying yourself, right? You finally found somebody to watch the kids. You and your husband are out for a dinner date and you want to be able to enjoy it. But the whole time you're sitting there calculating in your head like, okay, if I get this, then how are we going to pay for this later? Because I know I'm putting this on the credit card so that we can have a date, so that we can be closer, but then how are we going to pay for it? And then is it going to cause a fight later because we can't pay for this credit card bill? Oh, I better not get that appetizer, or I better not get that glass of wine that I'd really like to have because I'm too worried about how much that's going to cost and what it's going to cause later. What if you didn't have to think that way? What if you could have the money coming in so that you could actually enjoy that date with your husband? Where you can actually say, you know what, honey, get whatever you want. This is our night and we're going to enjoy it and not have any financial burdens going on in our brain. I mean, would anybody enjoy that? I know I would. I have. You guys, this is the ticket. I'm telling you, I want to give you the hope that you don't have to live like that anymore. That's all that I'm here to do this morning, is just give you that hope. Okay, so just stick with me if you want to learn more about this. Okay, follow me so that I can share more, so that you can understand more of what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm just trying to share the hope this morning to those moms who are exhausted and feel like they never have enough hours in the day. There's never enough money. The stresses that come along with that, where you're working your 9 to 5 or whatever it is that you work in a day, and then you're wondering how, I've worked so hard, I barely make enough, or I don't make enough until the next paycheck. And then we've got that unexpected expense that comes up. Your kid needs that uniform like we talked about, or dishwasher breaks down, the washing machine breaks down, you didn't expect that. Well, you don't have funds to take care of that, and then how are you going to get the clothes washed? Because you're in charge of cooking, and you're in charge of cleaning, and you're in charge of laundry, and taking the kids to school, and picking them up, and taking them to this activity and that activity, and you want to be the present mom who is at that activity, but then you also have these bills to pay. Or you're that mom who just got a call that your kid is sick, and you're going to have to miss work to go take care of them, which you want to because you're the mom, you want to take care of your kid, but the whole time that you're taking care of them, you're worried about, how am I going to make up these 8 hours that I'm going to miss taking care of my kid because they're sick? How am I going to make up that money? Because we barely can live paycheck by paycheck, right? And you're having to worry about that. What if you didn't have to worry about that anymore? What if while you're taking care of your sick kid, you get a notification that you just made $900? And let me ask you this. If you were making $900 a day, what would that do for you and your family? Seriously, what could that do for you and your family? And if you calculate that, $900 a day is over $300,000 a year. I mean, for most people, that could take care of your income and your husband's income. You could both be there and be present for your kid for whatever it is that they have, whether it's an activity or whether they're sick. You guys could have more time together and have less stress, less fights about money, and actually be present and live instead of just surviving. That's the hope that I'm giving. That's the hope that I want you to see what you could have. So that's what I'm here for, you guys. If you're interested in learning more about this, just follow me. I try to come on here as often as I can now. But, just send me a comment. If you want more information, I'd be happy to share the free blueprint with you. Okay? I hope you guys have a great morning. Be blessed.